Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Esports Hub's interview series. I have got another pro player joining me today. Previously, we did have Reedy on, so if you guys did miss that one, go and check it out on our YouTube channel. But joining me is a player that placed higher, and he's played for a team called FAB Games. It's Vortex. How are we, Steve-O?
I'm good, thanks. Just waiting for IW, chilling, hibernating.
I can imagine. Imagine playing wagers, just getting the best out of Black Ops 3 while it lasts.
Yeah.
And going into Infinite Warfare though as well, like, I mean, is it a game you're excited for, or is it not really one that you're excited for at all?
To be honest, I don't really look at the games. I just I like to get my own first impression of them when they come out. So just don't like hearing what other people have to say about it.
Fair enough.
My own judgment.
Fair enough. And also one thing I want to talk about as well is obviously Black Ops 3 for you as a game. Was it a game that you enjoyed? Was it a game that you thought was probably one of the better Call of Duties, or is it not really a Call of Duty you liked yourself?
I think it's great. I can still play it and have fun. I think every other COD that I've played, apart from Black Ops 2, so it's got to the end and it's a bit stale, and everyone's calling it like a bad game. But no, this one's good. I like it still.
Awesome. For any of you guys that aren't aware who Vortex is, and I'm pretty sure all of you do know who he is a member of FAB Games. Originally was on the team Exertus. Obviously they went through a few problems, so ended up being picked up by FAB Games in the end. Went to Call of Duty Championship, Steve-O, and you got a placing that, let's just say, I don't mean to be putting it to a fine point or nothing, but let's be honest, FAB Games weren't seen as a team that were going to be able to go to champs and get the placing that you guys got. And it's not because of skill, and it's not because we think you guys as a team of 4 players are not capable of something like that. It's just obviously with teams like Splice, Millennium, and all your big NA organizations at such a dominant event, it really did. You did surprise quite a few people at the event. I mean, did you feel that you were not as favoured as well, or was it you kind of had that impression the whole time you were going to go get that position?
Well, we knew what we were capable of, but it was just going there and doing it. Really, obviously we knew no one expected us to do it, apart from like a few. I know like Josh and Spice and stuff knew we could, like they were good and stuff, but apart from that, really, I don't think anyone expected it. So it's just fair enough, really.
Yeah, congratulations on your 4th place anyway, obviously helping out with the EU, really trying to bring an impact to the scene. Obviously the NA have dominated it for such a long time, but you guys in Splice, it must feel quite good, Steve-O, to be known as one of those players that's really helped EU push forwards against the NA community.
Yeah. I haven't really thought too much about it. I just it's anything but first. It sounds stupid. Like if you told me like last year or something that I'd get 4th at champs, that I would have took it like that. But it's just when it's actually you that gets 4th, and you know how close you it is. It is amazing. A bit. It's an amazing feeling, but just like you want to go back and do it again and get better.
That's actually a really good question. I kind of just thought about when you're saying that. If you were to go back, I mean, are you happy with the 4th place? I mean, I know that every pro competitive player, don't get me wrong, competitive players are there to go for the absolute number 1. But is there what would you change if you could go back? How do you think you could have improved on your position?
About 8, and didn't have to go to the hospital.
Right. So it's all personal things.
Literally, like that Cloud9 series, I was really bad, and then the following day, obviously when I got back and we played Splice, I couldn't concentrate. It was pretty much over. I'm not sure how we won the first map, but I would have liked to give Splice a much better series like the first one.
Yeah, definitely. Going into another question as well, Steve, we'll talk about obviously you guys at Call of Duty Championships, and we'll try and break that down for some of the people that are listening. But in your own opinion, what was the hardest obstacle that you guys had to overcome at Call of Duty Championships to get the position that you did?
I mean, I've got a few. I mentioned the hospital thing. Don't really need to go too much into that. Like, the Splice series, obviously, Splice are the only team that have EU team that beat us at an event out of ESWC and Gfinity.
Right.
Because we lost to FaZe and Rise at ESWC.
Yeah.
And then obviously they knocked us out of Gfin. So I think beating them really, like, just gave us all the confidence.
Yeah.
They're the only team
that a lot more for you as a team than just actually the position of champs. Like knowing that you guys have beaten Splice would have done a lot for you guys as well, momentum wise, and obviously your motivation would have changed, and yeah, it would have obviously helped you get a better placing if you were able to beat Splice, but it's what it does for you as a mentally for your team as well. Obviously, going into future games, knowing that you can beat what is seen, I guess, as a lot of people would agree, is one of the best EU teams in the community at the minute. And obviously, with the new roster they picked up as well, which is a good question I want to ask you, Steve, which is this new roster of Splice. I mean, do you see that this is an improvement for Splice, or is the older team what you would have rather stuck with, or can you see this team being like the absolute top dog of EU?
If they all have the motivation the whole way through the game and are going to all be good teammates to each other and actually work at it, they'll be really like almost unstoppable at points. It's like you just think about the team, they're all like, I'd say most people would class them all as their best, as in their individual role. You got Madcat, main AR. A lot of people said for years he's the best at that. You got Bans, everyone rates so highly as a Slayer, any gun. You got Jade, don't need to really say much about Jade. And then you got Josh, who's renowned for his leadership. So you got everything there. Yeah,
definitely. Going over to a little bit more about yourself, Steve-O. What was your personal highlight from Call of Duty Championships?
I mean, beating Splice for top 6 in the winners bracket, that was pretty good because we reverse sweeped them.
Yeah.
But obviously, 3-piece against C9 on the Breach CTF.
Ah, yes.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I can imagine as well. It just brings so much hype, and the crowd, I'm assuming, around you as well when you're on the stations. Is it quite loud? Do you feel really feeling?
We went. Obviously, Cloud9 had literally just beat Optic, so all the Optic fans stayed. They wanted to see them lose, so it was like almost playing for Optic. They were
so you had like the Optic fanboys behind you. That must have been a pretty surreal feeling, kind of to understand what those Optic guys get on a daily basis at LAN events. Then, when they do go to events, you kind of got that feeling of what it is that they get. Obviously, the beef that was between Cloud9 and obviously Optic towards the end. Obviously, you saw Lacefield standing up and screaming towards the fans. So no wonder they were supporting you guys, wanting you guys to go through. I also want to go over to another segment of the questions as well, and that is what the commentators and the casters at the event were actually referring to you guys as, and that was they were comparing you guys to Team Revenge. Obviously, Team Revenge was that team that got second place at the last year Call of Duty Championships, but TR did split coming into this new game. I mean, what are your plans as a team for your team? FAB Games, are you planning on sticking together? Obviously you don't want to lay all your cards on the table right here in an interview, but is there anything that you could tell us on whereabouts the team's going, where the mindset of the team is?
No, we're 100% sticking. The only problem before the event, and it's pretty well known, that like Desire's attitude is like really bad.
Okay.
And before going into the event, like, we pretty much told him like it was his last chance, before chance to practice and actually like be somewhat of a good teammate to prepare for it. And obviously, he guess he's earned another chance after champs, which is what you'll get. And we've all I'm pretty sure Dave and Hawkey and maybe even Ben have had offers, but I know they're all loyal, so it's fine. It doesn't bother me. Like, the team will definitely stick for at least the first season, the new game.
Awesome. Also, I want to ask you a really quick question as well, and it's basically, Steve, I just wanted to see if you could provide me with, if you could pick a dream team, so it can be players from the ANZ region, the NA region, and the EU region. If you could pick 4 players, you can include yourself if you want, that you would say is the dream team of Call of Duty, who would you have in it?
I'm going to exclude me and my team.
Okay.
I'd have Josh. I'd have Apathy.
Yep.
I'd go with...
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Would you have Scump in there?
I'd probably have Bans for Scump to go with Josh, to be honest. I think.
So, Bans, Scump, Apathy, and Josh.
And then I need one. I think we'd choose Slasher.
Okay.
So 2 of MV, 2 of Splice, I guess.
2 of MV, 2 of... So how come you wouldn't go for like the Optic boys, or is that just personal preference?
I just...
Because normally when we ask this, like we ask the community and stuff, they always go, "Oh, we want Scump and Formal and the big Optic boys."
I just
personal preference on who you see as a player better.
Yeah, and who would work together better, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's all about obviously not necessarily just picking 4 slayers, but who can play around each other well and who would be able to play together as a teams. So there you go. That was Vortex's dream team. So let us know as well on Twitter, as we always say, if you want to let us know who you think your dream team would be. If you agree with Vortex, then also let us know. But moving on to Twitter as well, we had a few questions from the community. We had a question from Fenzi, who asked basically, how did you end up coming pro? But in better words, Vortex, what advice would you give to people in the community that are watching this video that do get involved with the Esports Hub, that maybe look up to you and go, I want to be where Vortex is one day, placing 4th at champs? What is it that you would give if you could give any advice to these amateur players?
I had a few people ask me actually in DMs how I did it and stuff, and really just if you're starting, I think I've seen a lot of YouTubers say it as well, like if you're starting it just to try and make a career of it and make money, it's never going to work. You have to enjoy it, and it's something that you want to like just come on and play to have fun, and then it'll just progress by itself. Like you'll end up getting new teammates, you'll end up attending your first event, and if you enjoy it, you'll end up going again. The more you play, obviously the better teams you'll end up getting on, and it just goes from there. Like it took me, I'd say I started in May of Black Ops 2, so 2013, went to my first event, end of Black Ops 2, played all the Ghosts, got top 12 by the end of Ghosts, played all of Advanced Warfare, and got 2nd and 3rd at the end of Advanced Warfare, and then obviously this game, so it took quite a long time, but like, I know some people, like, it's for Halley, for example, on Advanced Warfare, like, it only took him like 2 months to get, like, in a good position. Like it just like it comes down to a bit of luck, and but one thing's sure, you got to enjoy it and you got to put the time in.
So you definitely it's about turning a hobby into a career, not necessarily trying to turn a career straight away and trying to be known and recognized. Obviously, guys like Vortex said, he didn't just wake up one day and he was a pro player after a few games of Call of Duty. This takes dedication, and it takes obviously game time as well, and if you can put that into it like Vortex has, then hopefully good luck to everybody that he has given the advice to. Maybe we will see you one day in the future in the Call of Duty scene. We're taking a look at another question as well from Kin Reflex. This one was also on Twitter. Thoughts of EU Call of Duty going into Infinite Warfare, and will EU be able to compete at the international level still?
Well, the way I look at it is the NA scene have been able to play full time for quite a few years now, and this is the first year we've got to play. Like, I know there was I said 2 teams from every year EU have played full time. I'm thinking like Epsilon, TCM on Black Ops 2, and TCM and last year, Millennium last year. But like this year, we've seen. If you think of the teams that went to champs, HG, Epsilon, Millennium, Splice, us, and Infused, that's like 6 top teams. So 6 teams are all practicing together. At least 6 teams. That's excluding the likes of LDLC, then your French and German teams, whatever. But like they're all scrum each other, getting better practice. Whereas like to get the top practice on other games, there would only be like a few teams that are at that level. So it would improve at a slower rate. So what I mean?
What you're basically saying is like in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, there was not very much competition for the NA to have. They only had to knock out maybe 1 or 2 teams, but now they've got 6 of you. There's lots of you trying to challenge those NA teams. They've got more competition now. There's more variety of players. Therefore, obviously equaling it out to a better chance for EU to get a higher place.
Yeah, that, and like obviously the amount of practice
that you guys are putting in.
The amount of good practice us top teams can get against each other now. Where like is like progressing it faster.
Do you think the CWL helped out with that?
Definitely, because I feel like teams like us, I know a couple of teams blacklisted us before champs, but
that's it.
No one really, like, I wouldn't say no one knew who we were, but we weren't as respected, maybe. I don't think teams would have necessarily wanted to scrim us. If they had a choice to scrim someone else.
I can understand.
So then it's like the same circle of like 3-4 teams, but like obviously that circle's expanded to so many more teams this year. Like if you think back to all the events on AW and Ghosts, Epsilon dominated when maybe challenged by TCM a couple of times. But this year there's like been so many teams that have all challenged each other, which is the same in America. You've got all the top teams that all challenge each other and help it, like scrim each other, and realistically are helping each other to get better.
Yeah, definitely. Going to go into our final question for the wrap up this interview, Steve. Basically, it's the little game that we play. We played it with Reedy. So, what game from our interview series? I'm going to play with you as well. It's the affiliation game for anybody that doesn't quite know the name of it. You might remember it from playing it as a kid in school. Basically, I'm going to say a word, and Steve will give me the first word that pops into his head affiliated with the word I said. So, we'll start off simple, and then we'll get into stuff within esports, and just see what it is that Steve will be popping up with in his head. So, you ready, Steve?
Yeah.
All right then. Hot.
Cold.
Car.
I don't. Car. BMW. I don't know.
Esports.
Odd.
Online Call of Duty.
Awful.
FAB Games.
German.
New Splice roster.
Very good.
Fans.
Slayer.
Daily Desire.
Comical.
E-girls.
Attention seekers.
Attention. That's going to be it. I always like throwing that one in there, Devo, because people just pause a little bit, or they just throw about one word answer that I feel is on a personal scale for the people that we ask. It's just the best one to throw in there. But anyway, you've been great having on, Devo. Some perfect analysis from you, and also a little bit of humour there as well towards the end. But guys, that's going to be it for us here. Thank you once again, Vortex, for coming on. I really do wish you guys over at FAB Games, and obviously your teammates and yourself, the best of luck going into Infinite Warfare. And I'm sure we'll see your team back up towards the top end again, challenging those NA teams at the top. But guys, that's myself done as well. I've been Cast Campbell, and I have been doing this interview for you guys. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, subscribe, on YouTube. Like the video if you enjoyed it as well. And also check out our Twitter page while you're there to keep up with the latest tournaments, the latest news that we have to offer. Thank you very much, guys. Peace out.